better, trying to understand what we want to do. And thus far, he's had a great week of preparation. So, we'll throw him out there and see if he can make some big plays for us.
How do you describe his development since coming to Tempe?
He's getting better. He's getting better. You know what I'm saying? It's just, he had a lot of bad habits that I got to break. And, me being a coach, it's all about trust when we're putting players out there. Trusting that they're going to be in the right situation, trusting that they're going to make plays. And, I just tell these guys, continue to grow. And as you continue to do the little things that I need you to do, the more trust I gain in you. And it's my job to make sure that I get them well prepared so they can go out there and be at their very best.
Last week, he had a kickoff return that was called back and then almost a touchdown. I'm not sure if there had been a player with 2+ 80-yard touchdowns in a game. Do you think he's close to breaking out?
He's close.
He's close.
He's close, man. Like I said, this week has been a great preparation just for him, just mentally. We had a sit-down talk on Monday. I think he's in a better place. Clearly, he's frustrated. He wants to go out there and help contribute as much. And I want a bunch of guys that want the ball and want to go out there and help. But at the same time, I still need you to do it and gain the trust of the coaches and understand the playbook before we just throw you out there. But he's done a great job thus far during preparation, and we'll find ways to get him out there. And the more he get acclimated and comfortable to our offense, the more he's going to go out there and help contribute to our team.
Moving to Jordan, do you still get shocked by things that he does? Or do you ever?
No, I'm not shocked. I see him work. It's more of me just staying on him, doing the little things, and making sure when we fall short of the standards of what we do and how we do things in our room. I'm always going to be a stickler. I know great players. They want to be coached. For Jordan, he's done everything that I asked him to do, and if it ever slips below the line, I'll make sure we correct it before we even. I nip it in the bud real quick. It wasn't good enough, but he's responded. Just him mentally, the approach to the game is just so different. He's all about football, and he wants to be the best. And I said, to be the best, you got to ante up and put more into it. And he's done that thus far. And for him, it's about being available and taking care of his body, doing the little things, and he's done everything thus far that we asked him to do.
I'm sure you're probably annoyed getting asked this question, but just what needs to happen for the other receivers to kind of get going? What progression do you see from the other guys to kind of get the
it's
other
only
guys
one
in?
football. We got a lot of weapons. We got running backs, we got tight ends, and we got JT. He's like, unless we're throwing the ball 60 times a game, it's just going to be that way. I just tell those other receivers just to stay engaged, keep having a positive attitude, keep working on your craft. And when your number's called, be ready to go out there and make plays. And that was the same way last year. When JT went down, a lot of people questioned that, it was over with. And our other guys rose to the occasion. All our guys are putting in work, and when their number's called and their opportunity presents itself, I have total confidence that they'll go out there and get the job done. But so far, JT's getting a lot of attempts, but we got some tight ends, we got running backs. There's only one football to go around, so somebody's going to be short. They're going to get frustrated. They want the ball. My job is to make sure that I handle the frustration, but at the same time show them that they're getting better. And that's really our whole motto is really, how do we, go out here and improve ourselves to be the best version of ourselves each and every day we step on practice, and all the guys are getting better. And I can't wait when they get their opportunity. I have total confidence that they'll get the job done.
Yeah, Coach. Coach Dillingham mentioned at the beginning of the week the availability of Jalen Moss being probable. I don't want to speak on his status as it comes to health, but from what you've seen mentally from him, obviously getting an injury early in the season is not ideal for a player. How has he kind of been dealing with this over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, it's been frustrating for him because he wants to go out there and contribute. He's just been out with injuries, and that's normally happens to a lot of athletes, because you don't feel like you're a part of the team when you're hurt and you're constantly getting treatment, and you can't be at your very best when you don't feel 100%. So I get the frustration for him. I just tell him to stay in the playbook, so when he does come back, that he's ready and ready to go, and making sure assignment-wise that we know what we need to do, and so he's in the right place. But all of our guys, we need some guys to step up when they do get their opportunities, but Jalen will be fine. He's just got to be able to, overcome some of the, frustration within himself. It's a Jalen versus Jalen battle. Try to just be there mentally, knowing that he's mentally into the playbook. So when he comes out here physically, he's able to not lose a beat.
And then obviously going up against the Baylor team that's been red hot on offense and had some times on defense where they've shown some quality. What have you made of the defensive back matchups that are potentially going to happen?
It's going to be a tough challenge. Probably our toughest challenge thus far. Just overall going into a hostile territory. I want to see how we respond on the road. We had an opportunity in Mississippi State. We didn't finish the ball game. Consequently, we lost that game. So now it's conference play. They know us. We know them. Being in conference, this is a big road test for us. Not just for our wideouts, but for the entire team. So it's definitely going to be a challenge. And we've been pushing these guys all week. I want to see how they respond. To that first adversity that goes along with the road. Are we going to bend, or are we going to continue to fight? So looking forward for the challenge, but I think our players are up for it.
Okay, I guess so. Obviously, we saw against Mississippi State that when things were kind of getting tougher for you guys, it went a lot towards the run game, and we got a lot less wide receiver touches or passes out of from Sam and that kind of stuff as well. What do you make of having the difficulties of trying to be able to respond to adversity when you're as a receiver, as an offensive player who's relying on a quarterback to get him the ball?
Well, I think a big part of it is how are you impacting the game when you don't have the football, and that's why I think that we pride ourselves on. Even though we're not getting opportunities in the passing game, that doesn't mean we don't stop blocking our tails off. And you look at our running backs, we have some explosive plays, So, we know who our identity is. And like I said, for me, it's the type of guys that I'm building in the wide receivers room. We want to be complete wideouts, not just pass catching. If you want to go to a pass-happy school where you're throwing 60 times a game, this is not the place. We got some good running backs. We got some good tight ends. We got some good receivers. You just got to make sure you're working on your craft, trying to master it. And then collectively, we're still trying to find our identity as a team. We don't have Cam and Leaf and those guys anymore. So I think, we don't get preseason games. So the first 3 non-conference games, that's kind of how we found out who we are. And I think going through on the road in Mississippi State and being able to respond the way we did, I kind of think that kind of got our mojo going. We know that we have some explosive running backs. We know that we have some tight ends. We know we have some receivers. It's just a matter of these guys, they don't care who gets the credit. Just when your opportunities call, rise to the occasion, help our team win ball games.
So in that regard, when it comes to kind of flushing out the non-con, knowing that those are kind of their games to get settled in the season, have you seen maybe a mindset or attitude shift from guys in your position group now that you guys are headed into conference play?
Yeah,
right now?
Because now you should be acclimated to the playbook. There's a comfort level that come, and now it's just really about execution. The details of every little thing. I think the first 3 games, it was a little sloppy at times. I thought I had this. I thought, right? When we get into conference play, you got to know. It can't be, I thought this, or no, we've been at this since training camp. We've been at it for 2-3 months now. So, not knowing the playbook, not knowing the details, that's just an excuse. There's no excuses to not know the details. You got to put time into it in order for us to be successful. And I think for a lot of guys, taking ownership of that, understanding that, our MEs, mental errors, they've come down dramatically. Now the drop balls is way too many for me. And, I don't like drop balls. I'm allergic to drop balls. So we had 3 in the game. I want none. I want our guys to strive for perfection. Even though I know no one's perfect in life, but at least if you strive to sit there as a group to have no drops, then that's really our goal. Each and every day I try to push these guys to let's have less mental errors and less drops and start building consistency. If we can do that on a week-to-week, day-to-day basis, then I'm not worried on game days. We'll be fine.
Good. Thank you, Coach.